Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show. My name is Jack Chow. I'm on the East-West show with lots of pride with G&E TV at channel 44.9. You're picking up the very right pick by watching the show right now. Because we're talking about something very important, and it is important because of the fact that I have my important guest with me. That's a VVIP. I call him the Honorable Mike Yin, trustee of the LACCD board, who recently, let me go back a little bit, who has been serving California Assembly House for 6 full years, glorious full years, whereby he made the record-breaking bill authors in history in California. And stepping down from terming out, he moved himself to another important position. I see, to my eye, a more important position that holds our future right in the hands, which is education. LACCD, LA County College Board. He holds the second president position as a trustee. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. My honor to be here. I am not the second president yet, but I hope to have, I am in leadership of 2 committees.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you. My pleasure.
Sure. And of course, the pleasure is mine to have you here once again. Because we know that by the way, every Monday morning I receive a newsletter called MMM, Monday Mike Memo.
Yes.
Right? So, and it's a newsletter update about the passing week to forelook into the coming week. In one of the recent letters, I caught a very important piece of news that was a visit he paid to China, to General Consulate of the United States in Guangzhou, to participate in one of the grandest event attended by hundreds of people, important people, internationally important people,
yes.
right? 500 of them, whereby he was one of the keystone speakers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Let us know something about that, please. That's a huge event to me.
Yes. As you know, every country has a consulate, and several consulates. In the People's Republic of China, they have consulates in Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangzhou, and possibly one other city. Every year in America, they celebrate the Asian American Heritage Month for the month of May. And for the first time, some of the consulates overseas are saying, in Asia, why not celebrate Asian American Heritage Month in China or in Asia? And so the Consul General of the United States of America for Guangzhou, Miss Jennifer Galt, collaborated with some key people to establish this gala to invite everyone from all over the consulates represented from Greece, Italy, Japan, as well as the People's Republic of China to participate in an event to focus on the contributions of Asian Americans to America, because the consulate is staffed by American citizens from the U.S., but many of them, or some of them, are of Asian American heritage. So therefore, it's a great idea to think of Asian Americans not just in America, but also Asian Americans contributing to the community in Asia.
I see. All right, good. You were invited as one of the keynote speakers, right?
Yes, so the keynote speaker, yes.
What did you say?
Basically, I talked about the fact that in America, many of us have 2 historical identities, two cultural personalities.
I see.
America, of course, I was born here, but my family, if you trace the roots back, comes from China. And so I was asked to talk about how it feels to be an Asian American with roots from Asia, how difficult it was for my grandparents to come to America and establish a family, and what that did to allow me the opportunities to become an elected official and someone in America. So those two identities coming together to explain to those who are in the audience the challenges of being a hyphenated American, being this and this. In fact, some Americans have 2 or 3 identities or 4 because they have that background. And I consider it a great honor because it was sponsored by the Consul General, not a nonprofit organization, not by the Chamber of Commerce.
That's a high ranking.
But yes, the highest ranking person,
yes.
other than the ambassador, sponsored this event. Yes.
All right, very good. You know, Your Honorable, correct me if I'm wrong, quite often than not, I see people promoting differences. They are talking about differences with a big criticism, pointing on and on, fingers are pointed at all directions or even mutually, right? Now, and I see other group people who are promoting diversity.
Yes.
Promoting common grounds, right? So these two are very contradictory to each other, right? So as an educator yourself, as a legislator in the past, and of course as an educator now, how do you think that we can do? What we can do? How much can we do to balance it at least, if not overturn, please?
Yes, I think the more that we can understand people who are not from our culture. Give me an example. When I went to China 2 weeks ago, you have American citizens that have to make decisions about helping Americans overseas or granting visas to people from Asia or China coming to America. So the more that we Americans can understand the Chinese, and the more the Chinese can understand us, it doesn't have to just be China. It could be Taiwan, it could be Japan, it could be Europe, could be Central America, anywhere. So what I like to do is to look for opportunities to work together collaboratively, and to your news media is famous for talking about people, not necessarily that are Chinese or Taiwanese, but from other cultures as well.
Yes,
your festivals. And the more that, I like to say, the more that we can meet together, then we can think together, then we can link together, we can be in sync together, otherwise we will sink apart, meaning we're a big stream and we could all drown separately. So that's why it's so important. Immigration is an area that I'm fighting for expansion of immigration rights, that the Latino community is also very, very much interested. We can work together. We have common backgrounds of this. English is not our native language. And we want to bring our families from overseas. That's a commonality. We can work together. Education. Anyone from an immigrant community knows how difficult it is. You come from another country, your children don't speak English, and all of a sudden they have to learn this system. We can work together in that area. In terms of civil rights, the African American community, Martin Luther King has taught us much. We can work with that community to learn how to fight for our rights effectively. The Caucasian community, the Anglo community, Italian American community, all of these communities can educate each other. And when we come together, we become a more powerful America.
That's a very, very positive analysis, and I would say you took it in depth. So we back home though, did you, in your circle, LACCD, put the kids together, or at least the board members together, to share about you felt and saw whatever in Canton, China?
Yes, the second part of my trip, and maybe I should come back later, but was to visit the only American-owned university in China to determine if we could have an exchange program.
I see.
Now, as you know, many people from China come to America. Many people from Taiwan come to America to study. But very few people from America go over there. So they are learning about us.
Yeah, you're right.
But we are not learning about them. I'm talking about native-born Americans. They could be Latino, African American, Asian American, Anglo-American. We're not learning about them. In fact, the figures are astounding. Last year, I think it was over almost, 900,000 students from all over the world came to America to study. But do you know how many students from America went around the world to study?
Yeah, the other way, right?
Only 200,000.
Only 200,000, yeah. Okay.
A small fraction.
Yeah,
and
that's
most
a
of
small
those
fraction, yeah.
went to Europe. So when
right.
I was overseas 2 weeks ago, I was offered an exchange program to bring some students
I see.
from America to go to China.
I see.
And maybe a short 4 to 6 week program to learn some basic Mandarin.
Okay.
For a very cost-effective amount of money.
I see.
And so I am going to put together a team of students to take advantage of, to go over there. We have to raise the money for the round
Why
trip.
don't you give me the list of the schools that are soliciting, and I'll help you publish it?
Well, there's
So let
one.
people
There's
know.
one school. What we really need, we'd like to get students from our district to go. They were asking for us, our community college students.
Sure.
The biggest help we need, of course, is raising money for the round trip airfare, as well as the expenses over there, which are going to be very minor. So, but I think that it's worthwhile, and I'm going to do some fundraising.
It's going to be self-paid, right? By the
Yes,
individuals, right?
we have to pay for it. We
I mean,
have
the
to,
individuals
the
have to
individual
pay.
and their families have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But it's a chance of a lifetime.
Oh,
imagine,
yeah. Very good, yeah.
Imagine a student coming back and speaking English, Spanish, and Mandarin. They could get a job anywhere in the world.
I got a question for you, just a personal, very personal question. Back then, when you were in the very early years on Garvey School Board, and then you, at that time, you were a...
Judy, yeah, I was never on the garbage. My first position was the City Council of Monterey
City
Park.
Council of Monterey Park,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
And you were a local politician, and when going up to the State Assembly House, you were a legislator.
Yes.
And coming down, you're an educator now, right? So, and you yourself as a very wonderful immigration attorney, one of the very, very best. So who are you? It looks like you're everything.
Yes, I feel like I'm a journalist like yourself, Jack.
Okay, all right.
We cover so many, we have so many rich experiences.
Sure.
And I think that's the key. When you are exposed to so many different experiences and so many different people, it's hard to define yourself as one ethnicity.
Yeah,
We are
you're
a
right.
world-class
Yeah,
country.
you're right.
And Jack, you're a genius, because
Thank
many
you.
countries feel that they become stronger by limiting their people to one language, one culture, one type of experience.
You're right.
America is many cultures, many languages, many communities. That's a test of time.
Yeah.
And I believe that we become stronger the more diverse we are. So here you have two competing
you're
views.
Right. You're right, yeah.
Diverse country or a mono, single ethnicity country.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we're winning that argument because of the richness of our cultures.
That's not only quite a stand, but also, in my eye, a philosophy, right? We get stronger by accepting more, right? So somebody else might get stronger thinking by isolating themselves more,
That
right?
is it. Just like EDI Media, just like yourself, you are always seeking markets away from not just a Mandarin-speaking
you're right,
audience,
you're right.
but expanding your audience.
Yeah.
And in doing so, you're educating both cultures.
Yeah, that's exactly the purpose
Yes.
of the show. All right, my dear audience, today is once again another very rare moment when I have a VIP, very, very VIP, call him VVIP. My brother kind of a VVIP that I adore so much, I respect a lot. Honorable Mike Kim, LACCD Board Trustee. We're touching an international program, but before that, the prelude was that about his recent visit to China in Guangzhou, the General Consulate of the United States in Guangzhou, China, from where he came fully loaded with something as big as this. I'm going to show you when we come back.
Thank you.